Hello, and welcome to the world of Terrea. And this video is on my player style as opposed to my previous video, which was on my personal GM style. And this video is meant to allow feedback to figure out whether I got the characters and the players right, and then I can go forward and make more inclusive stories. And so let's start with our first player, Raorik. This player is the character is a level 7 forged monk, and he was found in stasis because he was part of the ancient race of gold. He worked for them, and he's now been brought forward to the future, but now he has amnesia. He doesn't really remember his past, and he's kind of in that flux state, not sure where he came from and not sure where he's going. And on that particular point, this player loves to create stories and to create personal story arcs and just delve into that kind of meat of where his characters come from and where he's going. For instance, he wants to find out about his past and what he used to do in the past, but also figure out that whole robotic sense of who am I? Am I a real boy? And he just loves to create story, which works so well for me as a GM because it gives me that sense of direction of where the players want to go. This player has a strong sense of direction, and it just works well. I just create story around that direction. And he also loves to add flair, his own personal flair to the stories. So, well, that's pretty much it. We'll go straight to our next character and player, who is Bendreps, a level 7 Svert Artificer. Never really good with that word. And the Svert are basically this settings version of a gnome, in particular the deep gnomes, the ice gnomes. This player, this character has a story of they want to bring back tech for their homeland, and the home is ravaged by raids and war. Now, even though this character has a backstory, the player, I won't say forgets about it, but the player really likes to engage with other characters and other NPCs. It's part of the character's backstory, that kind of overarching friendliness. But the player itself seems to really latch on to those, interesting characters and interesting interactions, and likes to recruit NPCs. And so it's something I'm going to keep in mind. I was whittling down the party follower NPCs, but I got to kind of rein that instinct back and allow this character to have this party of NPCs. In fact, one of the things I might have to do is give the player ownership of the NPC, one particular NPC, and so he can play that kind of stable of characters and then allow them to get into more interactions and to more stories and just get themselves, they've got a character for different situations. I think this player has a wonderful range of voices and a wonderful, sort of interaction style. And to facilitate that, I'll probably just go give him more characters to play. And that's pretty much it with this player. So we'll go to our next one, who is Goliath, a level 7 human spectre. And a spectre is a sort of mystic from D&D class. And it's also that, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure mashup. Now this is, the complete edgelord anime background story. Former soldier, got captured, got tortured. The torture is what led to this character getting their magical powers. They get these powers through life and death situations. And their whole story arc is redemption. But one thing that I've noticed is that this character and this player likes aesthetics. And what I mean by aesthetic, it's sort of I didn't really grok to me until later that this particular player likes their collections, and likes their items, and likes their little plus ones and stuff on their gear. And that's when I notice when I play stuff, video games with them, and there's games, even if it's just a skin, that kind of difference and that kind of stuff really draws this player's eyes. And even in game, I gave him one particular magic sword, a dragon slaying sword, and they make a reference to it. Not every time they can, but during combat they talk about bringing out the sword, and they kind of draw attention to the fact that they have this sword. And so I feel like it's more so markers or trophies that these items are part of their collection, but each of this collection will tell a story if I do it right. And so I just need to keep that in mind and bring the opportunity to increase their collection. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff because when I look into the book, I just see random stat blocks and not too much story. I don't get stories so much from items. But seeing this player makes me revisit that, idea. So I'm gonna try more to bring story linked to items and rather than character interactions and situations and events. It's going to be a new area for me, and I'm keen to see how that plays out. That's pretty much what I can say for this player. So let's go to the next one, who is Lipus. His next two are pretty brand new. So I have probably the least knowledge about their playing style. So I might be wrong on these last two. This particular player doesn't have a lot of time, and they pretty much created just a blank slate adventurer. Just a loner with a past they rather forget and a future they don't know where they're going. They just go with the flow. Lathantians are, a homebrew sort of elephant race, like the Loxodons. And that's the one thing I like about this player. He purposely created an interesting character that wasn't mechanically heavy. And they usually like to min-max their characters. And this is sort of their attempt at going opposite to the min-maxing style. I haven't seen them too much in sort of role play, but I have noticed that they do like the combat and they do like the mechanics of the situation and they do like their little powers and stuff like that. And so going forward, when this plays in the group, I'll have to really focus on allowing them that time to mechanically shine. It's just not my normal style. I don't like to put too much combat out there because our time is limited, usually in a session, and combat takes a lot of that time. So it's something I'm going to keep in mind and try and maybe to figure out how to do enough mechanically intensive situations that don't eat up time, or I'll figure it out. Everyone likes combat, so I need to do more combat. And the final player is Cavil, level 7 dwarf cleric. He's a bit of an apprentice, an armorer, sort of works on the forges and stuff like that. And his backstory was designed to really work with that current story arc. So, this particular character was captured by the Bloodfangs, the current big bad of the moment, was forced to work for them, and now that they're free, they want to save their apprentice, who's still captured by the Bloodfangs. And from the limited interactions and game time, this player really loves character interactions and really loves the improv. I really enjoy riffing off just the random facts this player will introduce into the story. And I'm like, well, okay, that's canon now. I'm just going to work with it. And it's very fun for me as a GM to do. It makes me more invested into the game. But in saying that, I'm not sure, these last two players in particular, I'm not too sure if they're going to be more like a Rorik who loves to create stories and character arcs. If they're going to be more like a Bendreps, which is just get into the meat of the social interactions and interesting characters and NPCs, or if they're going to be more like a Goliath and look to expand their collection of stuff. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and until next time.